Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my September 2021 TBR. So, this has been, like, I have the craziest number of books sitting in front of me. There's got to be over 20, maybe 30 books. I don't know what I have here. I'm not going to read all these, but I have a huge pile of possibilities because so many readathons are going on in September, and so many I wanted to participate in, but I just had to cut back. And I didn't really cut back too much. I'm still doing technically 3. Is that right? 1, 2, what? Yeah, 3. So, and I wanted to do some other ones, like Becca's Bookopoly-thon looks really fun, and the magical read-along looks fun. I just can't add anymore. Those look fun, but we're just gonna go with what it, because again, I am very much gone back to being a real big mood reader. So I don't want to plan much of anything. There are only a couple books that are planned for sure on my TBR. They're not going to be any, like, that's, I think they're going to be ones you know that are coming. And then everything else is going to be just what I feel like. And this month could really turn into a rereading month, or it could turn into continuing a lot of series, or finishing a lot of, or starting a lot of series. It's gonna go either way. I'm just not sure yet how. So the readathons that I am participating in are series, series September, which is put on by Krista at Books and Jams, and Sarah at Sarah's Nightstand. This is about reading series. I'm also taking part in Space Opera September very lightly. I'm going to read a lot of sci-fi, but I'm not really following any of the prompts. That does not really what I want to do. I have so many books that I want to get to that I just don't have to think about where they attach, but I'm going to do some sci-fi in September, so I'm just going to count it as that. And then the other one is the Fall Into Reading Challenge, which is put on by Tia and All the Books, Angie at Literary Labors, Kelly at Cozy Reader Kelly, and Rainey at Rainy Day Reads. So that's a 3-month challenge between September, October, and November. So that one will be kind of just things that'll be dealt with differently. So I will talk about that at the end. So let's kind of go and well, let's kind of start with my sci-fi, just because it's kind of connected with the series September. So again, Space Opera September is put on by, I forgot to say, Thomas at SFF 180. And there's a whole lot of things you could do with that, and do the whole route of, you know, being on the Federation or the other side. And I just, as I said, I'm just going to read books that I have. And there's only one book that's a library book, so I do want to get to that. But again, it's a series book. So let's talk about the books that I are more likely to get done, because they are either finishing a series or catching up on a series. So let's talk about The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. This is book 4 in the Wayfarer series. I want to finish that. I just haven't got to it. I have no idea what that book is about. If I want to read some short stories, I do have the Heckarcate, is that how you say it? Stories by Yoon-Ha Lee. These are in the world of Nine Fox Gambit, the Machineries of Empire series, a series I really enjoy. I don't read many short stories. I've read 1 or 2 of, I don't know if they're in this one, that I've read online. So we'll see. I'm not huge on short stories, and there's a whole bunch of them. So I might be able to split it up and read a couple here and there. I'm hoping to get through this. I bought this, I think, last year, so I'd really like to do that. The Faded Sky by Mary Robinette Kowal is the second book in the Lady Astronaut series. I would like to get to this as well. The Calculating Stars was a really good book. I have the audio for this, so I could listen to this, since I have a lot of audiobook time right now at work. So that's what I'm hoping for. Again, this is alternate 50s, where an asteroid hit the Earth, and then the planet is now, the space race is accelerated, and we're following women who are involved in the space program. So anyway, I'd like to get to that. Then the one library book that I picked up was A Desolation Called Peace by Arkady Martin. This is the second book in the duology. A Memory Called Empire I read earlier this year and really enjoyed it, and I want to see where it goes. So it's a really junker though. Well, it's almost 500 pages. I guess it might not be too bad. But anyway, I've not heard as much about this one as A Memory Called Empire, but I'd really like to finish the duology, so I got that from the library. And I would like to continue The Expanse. I read Leviathan Wakes 3 years ago and I've never continued. So I'm going to find a synopsis of the first book because I cannot remember Leviathan Wakes. Like, I remember parts of it, but not everything. And then I want to continue with Caliban's War, so and get back into this because this series is also, the 9th book is coming out this year, so I figure by the time I can get to the 9th book, it might be out in paperback. I don't know. So those are all the ones that are connected to series and are sci-fi that I would like to get to high priority. I do have a whole stack of new series of sci-fi that I could try, like Hyperion, The Last Watch, The Unconquerable Sun, Gunpowder Moon, I think, Architect of Memory, Winter's Orbit, Polaris Rising, and Velocity Weapon. So these are all first book in series, or a standalone, I think. I don't remember if Gunpowder Moon is a standalone or a series. Anyway, all of them are either in other series or they're the first book. So I don't plan to read these, but they could happen. So those are just my options for that. And the 2 rereads for sci-fi is I might pick up Dune and reread this. I've read this about 5 times by Frank Herbert. So I've read the full Herbert series, the 6 books in that. So I would like to, I might reread this. I haven't decided yet. Again, my copy is from the movie because I loved the movie with the old movie. Again, Kyle MacLachlan, we'll just, and David Lynch. We'll just talk about that. Anyway, point is that I might reread this. I do plan to listen to the audio of The Will to Battle by Ada Palmer. I think the audio narrator is T. Ryder Smith. I really enjoyed my reread of this. Again, the 4th book, Perhaps the Stars, comes out in October, so I'm hoping to get this done in September so I'm ready for the 4th book. Because again, it's been 3 years since I read this book. So those are the rereads I'm hoping to get to that are sci-fi. So those are all the sci-fi possibilities. No, I am not going to read all these books, but these are all the possibilities. And the only ones for sure I'm going to read, I hope, are The Will to Battle and A Desolation Called Peace. Everything else is a hopeful. Caliban's War I'd like to get to as well. But we'll see. That's that. So then series September has, I did make a little picture of it. So there are like different prompts for series. Again, this is by Krista at Books and Jams and Sarah's Nightstand. So like there is one for Start a Series. That's the one I'm hoping not to do this month. But I kind of feel that that's going to be impossible. So, but there's like ones like 2 in the same series. Well, I don't know if I'll get to that one. Newest series purchase, which I do have that one. Series is longer than 5 books. I got many of those. Finish the series. That's one of the ones I would like to do. 2nd book in a series. I definitely have those either in sci-fi and other things. Book in a duology. Again, I have a few of those. Most recently started series. Not sure if that's going to work, but we will try. And series started more than a year ago. Easy. I got so many of those I can't tell you. So I am, just to do it first, I am continuing with the Kate Daniels series with Tia and All the Books. So this month we'll be reading Gunmetal Magic and Magic Rises, and maybe one or 2 of the shorts. I can't remember now. I think we're reading one of them. Anyway, point is that these ones are my last purchase. So this is the last purchase for a series because I bought this one just a couple days ago. So, and I need this next. So both of these will be reading in the Kate Daniels series. Again, that is the series where it's an alternate or Atlanta, Georgia, where magic has come back into the world and it's wreaking havoc. When the magic is up, no technology works, and then when magic goes, magic barely works, but technology will work. So we're dealing with shifters and vampires and lots of other things, and really loving this series, and so we're trying to get through it for this year. So again, these are the 2 we're planning, at least these, to get hopefully through in September. So those will count for the series. So the other series I have, again, I would really like to get back to the Viscount de Bragelonne by Alexander Dumas. This is translated from the French by, I think, David Coward. Yes. So I started this early this year, and I have just not gotten back to this. And now that I've read The Count of Monte Cristo and The Black Count, so I know a little bit about Alexander Dumas, I really want to get back to my D'Artagnan romances series. This is book 3. So as I said, I made it about 160 pages, and it's like 670. So I have like 500 pages left of this. I would like to at least make a section of this done, but we'll see. But that again is 17th century swashbuckler. This should be fun. And then I have a lot of series I'd like to, there's a couple, oh, this is my reread. There's a couple of rereads. I'd like to get back to the Richer series and read the next book with the next short stories. I'm not very good with short stories, but there's like, I think 5 novellas and short stories all together, Sword of Destiny. So I'd like to do this so I can actually get to one of the novels and see if I like those better. I mean, I like the first book okay, but Last Witch, but not a lot, which is why I haven't picked up the next one. I like to pick up the next one in the, what is the series name? Oh, I can't remember. It went right out of my head. But I'm hoping this is the next book in the Shelley Lawrenston series. It's shifters and it's sexy and it's just fun. These are hilarious. These actually, I love her as a writer. So this is her older series, and I just read the book before this, The Main Event, earlier this year. So I'd like to get at least another one done of that one. I'd like to continue with the Mackenzie McBride series. The Stolen Mackenzie McBride is the next one in that series. I haven't got to. I've had this on my shelf for several years. I'd like to continue with that. Those are historical romances. A Touch of Stone and Snow by Milla Vane is the second book in the Gathering of Dragons series. I read the first one earlier this year. I'd like to, I think it was earlier this year or late last year, I don't remember. Anyway, I was hoping to read this earlier this year, but the third book got postponed into next year, probably about April at this point. It keeps changing. Oh, I'm gonna die here from thirst. Sorry. But I want to read second book. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with it because one of the things that happens in the beginning. This is barbarian dark romance, fantasy romance. So there's a lot of fantasy, there are barbarians, and there's romance, and it's sexy times. So I do want to get to that. And I would like to finish this series that I have not finished in years. This is Sleeping Late on Judgment Day by Tad Williams. It's the third book in the Bobby Dollar series that I started when it came out. And then I had to wait for this book. And I read the first 2 books, and then I just never got to the third book. So I'm hoping I can find, or I can dive into it, or if I don't really want to reread the other 2 books again. But I might have to. We'll see. My hope is that I can get into this and just finish this series. This trilogy has been sitting out here waiting for me to read. Probably, I don't know. Looks like, yeah, about 7 years. So I need to get to this. So anyway, again, it's Angels and Demons. It's an urban fantasy in California, like Bay Area. And Bobby Dollar gets into a lot of trouble for an angel. Anyway, I enjoyed the first 2 books. I just haven't finished them. And then the last of the books that I'd like to maybe get to, and these are all rereads. So they're helping me get farther into the series by rereading the books and then moving past that. So I read Prudence by Gail Carriger when it came out years ago, and I just never carried on with the series. Because again, I was reading them as they came out. And again, mine is signed because I got to see her for the first 2 books when they came out. Anyway, point is, it's farther into the Parasol Protectorate. It's the next, this Custard Protocol. It's the next series of 4 books. It follows Prudence and her crew on their dirigible, and they get to travel the world. And the first book was really fun. I think as I said, I read the first book when it came out, and then I had to wait for the rest of the books, and so I just never got back to it. So I want to binge or read this one and then binge the series. So I'd like to start that, but we'll see. Also, One Little Mystery of Death on the Move by Bill Kreider. This is book 4 in the Sheriff Dan Rhodes mysteries. I think March Mystery Madness is having some kind of 6-month thing or some kind of read along. I haven't found the announcement for it, so I'll have to look for it. But I have a mystery if I can get to it. Again, these are mysteries. If it's a 25 book series, but this is again book 4. I'm rereading the whole series because I've never reread it. And we follow a county sheriff and his dealing with people in his county, and it's just a cute little. It's really good mysteries. They're just small town. They start in the 80s, and anyway, it's really good in Texas. It's really good. I also want to get back to the Arsenault Vampire series by Lisa Sands. I did a reread of like the first 9 books. 9 or yeah, and then I kind of stopped. So I have 2 more books to reread before continuing into books that I've never read. So I'd like to read at least one of those this month. The Rogue Hunter is the next one for me to reread. So again, these are funny paranormal romances with vampires. They're just hilarious. I mean, they have like an edge to them sometimes, but it's really funny. She just writes, the characters are just so you just laugh. They're just cute and sexy times. And of course, I want to read more Nalini Singh. I love to reread her. And the next book in the Guild Hunter series is coming out in October, I think. So I might pick up a few of the Archangel of that series. Archangel's Viper is the one it's calling to me right now. I'll probably pick up Archangel's Sun as well before the next book comes out, because that was a book right before the one that's coming out now, or coming out this year. But this one's really calling to me. So this is a alternate world where archangels are in charge of the world. There's only a few of them, and then they control angels and vampires, and then there's humans. And guild hunters are those who keep the vampires in check. You know, they're just so that they don't rampage. Anyway, a really good world building, overall great arching story, like most of Nalini Singh's, but that's another series. I want to read a couple of those as well. So those are all the books. I did want to show that I do want to, oh, there's one more book I want to show. So then here's my spread for Fall Into Reading Challenge. I decided to put only the 15 square one. The bingo boards, there's 2 of them. You can see when you look at Tia's, either her Instagram or on her video. I decided to go the 15 because I'm not going to just pick and, like, I'm not going to pick these out, like, right away. I'll just, if I read a sci-fi book, I will just write it in. Okay, I read one. I'm not going to plan these right now. Maybe in November I'll plan whatever I'm missing. But right now it's just going to be for fun, and I'm just going to write in and see how far I get. If I do get these done more quickly than I think I will, I might make another page and just put those are the extra prompts that I didn't get to or something. I don't know. We'll see. So those are my spreads and my cute little stickers. Anyway, so the Fall Into Reading Challenges, I said you pick a book, and there's different things on the bingo board, like fantasy, romance, nonfiction. I said I will link her video down below so you could check that out. There is a group read for September, which is a series, the start of the series. So this could be where I do the only one I start, even though I have so many I could start, is A Wizard of Ursie. Oh crap. Hey, you're supposed to let me see you. Anyway, there you go. A Wizard of Ursie by Ursula K. Le Guin. So this is the first book in that series. I've never read this series. I got it on ebook just the other day. It was like $1.99, so I picked it up. So anyway, so I will, maybe that'll be my start of series, but I'm planning to do the read along. I think it's the week of September 13th through 17th. So hopefully I will enjoy that. We will see. So those are all the books that are possibilities to read. I have, none of these are on my TBR, really, except for these 3, because I'm going to have the buddy read for sure with Tia for the Kate Daniels series, and then I want to reread The Will to Battle. And then everything else is just a hopeful. I hope I get to A Desolation of Peace and Caliban's War and all the rereads I want to do and all the series. I have so many series. I went back and looked at my 2020 and 2021 like series that I want to read, and so I pulled a lot of these books are from those that video showing stuff that I want to get to, and so we'll see. As I said, I just made a whole mess so that I can show you all the books that I would like to read. I'm just not sure I'm going to get to like half of them. We'll see what happens, because my reading mood is interesting, and I have a week off in September, so I might be able to get a lot done. We shall see. So anyway, what are you guys reading in September? Are you reading any of these books? Are you taking part in any of these read-alongs or readathons? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.